Why is it so tough to rent in Toronto? I'm Nikku Sharma. I've been a real estate agent in Toronto for over 10 years, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So, what are the difficulties? One of the biggest challenges is the fact that prices and interest rates have gone up significantly over the last couple of years in the market, and therefore that has pushed rent prices up as well. Landlords are going into these investments knowing that they're not breaking even and therefore need to push the envelope on the numbers. So what does that mean for you? It means that you're going to face difficulties in the rental market unless you have the perfect application. If we look at the costs of having a home are going up about 5 to 7% every year, and landlords are only able to raise rents by 2.5%, and that's just this year. Generally, it is much less than that every year, which makes it difficult on the landlord side to really bring down the rental prices to accommodate for what is happening in the market. So as margins get smaller and smaller for landlords, the application process gets tougher and tougher for tenants. In terms of protections for landlords, we have the landlord tenant board, and that is very, very heavily, on the side of tenants in their opinion. Landlords really don't have a lot of protection, and because of COVID, the landlord and tenant board is backed up so much over evictions and problems that landlords have had that need to go to the board, that a lot of these disputes are not being handled in a timely manner. Therefore, that is also creating a real buzz in the rental market about landlords having to be tough about who they rent to. With that said, there's a huge risk for landlords if they don't get a tenant that takes care of their place, right? So there is a level of risk for landlords if they don't rent to the right tenant. If the tenant defaults on their payments or, damages the property, the landlords have a long process to get that tenant out and also get compensated for those problems. So as renters, you are facing higher prices, but also a lot of competition in the Toronto market because there is such an influx of people that want to rent in the city. And that means that there's competition as well as prices. So that means that it becomes very difficult as a tenant right now to make yourself stand out in the realm of competition. So what are landlords really looking for? The landlords right now, quote unquote, are looking for the perfect AAA tenant. And that is really difficult because if you look historically, we would say, if you have great credit, good employment, and provide that to the landlord with your rental application, good references, chances were that you were probably going to get a nice unit and not really have that competition. But because of that competition today, you really do have to go above and beyond, which means that, landlords are now having more face-to-face meetings with tenants to understand what the personalities are like. Is that somebody I want to rent to? Is that somebody I can, communicate with easily? Are they going to be understanding if there is an issue? Are they going to pay rent on time? So all of these factors have started impacting the market due to the level of competition. So what do landlords do? They basically go to lengths and in order to find the perfect tenant, and unless they feel that perfect tenant exists, they're rejecting a lot of applications. You see multiple times now where lease options will come up and you have several candidates and landlords still say no to a lot of them. So it's not just about looking at the employment, if the income is high, or just the credit. It goes much further than that. Overall, what does that mean for landlords and tenants? It is a difficult place to be in as in both parties. Landlords don't have it easy in terms of, yes, there's a lot of competition, so they have a lot of applications, but picking the right tenant is also very, very stressful. And as a tenant, there's frustration because you may be a great candidate for that place. However, because of competition, you're not able to stand out. So I think overall in the market, there is a lot of frustration on both sides, and there is a way to make things work with the right help and with the right application and providing the right information to the landlord, as well as being a little bit accommodating, I think, on both ends. And that is something that I know for my clients has gone a long way. you're on the tenant side and you are looking to rent, what can you do to be competitive in this market and stand out for a landlord to, pick your application over multiple others? One of the things that I always say to my clients is be very approachable and be open-minded. So you provide all the documentation that the landlord side has requested, plus give them more. Give them as much information about you as possible, as you feel comfortable, to make them see that you are the perfect candidate. What does that mean? That's really dependent on how comfortable you are sharing your information. It could mean multiple reference letters. It could mean a personalized letter to the landlord. It could mean providing a balance of your savings to show them, hey, listen, yes, I have a great paying job. However, I also have funds. I like to save. I have funds set aside to have a comfortable lifestyle. And that can also go to the reassurance of the landlord thinking, okay, well, if something was to go wrong and you were to lose your job, you have funds available to carry you through. On top of that, you can provide extra deposits up front. So legally, landlords are not allowed to ask for security deposits or multiple months rent up front, or any sort of extra monetary value things. Landlords are not able to ask for those things to help you stand out among the crowd. So what can you do? You can offer those things. By a tenant offering, it also shows the landlord that there's an extra level of interest and openness to be like, okay, I'm willing to make this work. Now, that is only if you are comfortable and able. I'm not saying go out there and do these things if this is not in the realm of comfort. And also dependent on the situation. If you're not competing, then you don't have to do any of these things. You can do the basic application with your employment letter and your deposits. But in a realm of competition, and you really, really like that unit, there are things that we can help you do to stand out. We are also seeing increasingly common among tenants is fraudulent documentation today. And that is a huge red flag for landlords. So landlords have become even more critical of the documents that we provide on the tenant side, because number one, they want to know that they're not fraudulent. So they're doing a lot of due diligence. So give them time. These applications we were able to turn around sometimes in 24 to 48 hours. However, now it can take longer, not only with the due diligence on the application side, but landlords would like to meet prospective tenants, talk to them. And if there's multiple people competing for these places, then that can take time. Sometimes it can be difficult on the tenant side because you are waiting for, multiple days. However, if you like the place enough, factor that into your application, and also continue looking, because you never know that something else may pop up that may be a better fit, or if this one doesn't work out, you can have a backup plan. So as a landlord, what can you do on your end? There isn't a lot that you can ask for. However, one of the key pieces in renting to someone is a meeting. So if right now you are not meeting with these prospective tenants or having your agent meet with them to really get an understanding of what these people are like, I would say add that into your due diligence process, because that is going to help you make the right decision for yourself and avoid any problems in the future. So definitely look at their employment letters, call employers, ask a bunch of questions. Also look at credit reports. You are able to get permission from the tenant to run your own credit checks if you like, and we can also help you with that, real estate agents. And if you're working with a property management company, they also do that for you. So get help. It's a difficult realm to navigate on your own, especially if you're new to renting and having an investment property, because there is a lot going on and you want some protection on your side and some security of people that have been doing this for a while. Been doing this for over 10 years, and let me tell you, this has been part of my due diligence process as a landlord myself for years, since I started investing in real estate, and it has definitely help me pick the right people. Doesn't mean that I have never had troubles with tenants. Let me tell you, it's happened. However, for the majority, I am able to at least communicate with them. There's an open channel of communication, and then we sort out the problems, right? So make sure you do your due diligence, make sure you have the right people on your side, and pick the right person for your property. I'm Nikku Sharma. If you found value in what I had to say today, click and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, please let me know.